What's up?
Where the food is? You say
Hold on a second. It's on the other side. Over there.
go down this way?
Yeah, on the other side.
Oh, I thought you needed me to do something.
Yeah, that's right. You did.
I know we broke you off.
Yes, you did.
Baby. I'm the
Yes,
vice
you did.
president.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Keep doing that, then we got to take care of it.
Right.
But I ain't know it was you.
Right.
For real, man.
Thank you.
I'm serious, man.
Thank you.
Look, now.
At least 300 people. All right.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. You can give yourself a round of applause. It's okay. For those of you who don't know me, my name is George Clark. And at the same time, I'm so blessed. And I have to start out by saying that in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. So we're thanking God tonight for the opportunity to be able to come together as families. But before I start, I must get permission from the elders to be able to speak. Because they say, train up a child the way he should go. When the person gets older, he will not depart. So I just want you to know that basketball is more than a game. It's an experience. What experience have you had, call yourself playing this game, that we can come tonight to celebrate the great rich tradition of Philadelphia basketball and the Baker League story? As soon as I walked in the door, I asked Brother Parham, I said, can I go back old school, something y'all taught me? T. Parham said, go ahead, George. Now, you know you went to Northeast, right? I went to Edison, but see, they didn't want to tell the story. But see, I had to go to the elders to find out the truth, right? So I said, what's up, Blade? Now, those of you who know about the Baker League, y'all know what Blade means. Now, when I was younger, I'm sitting down listening, because I was hanging with the elders. And it's an honor tonight to be here to say thank you to the mothers, thank you to the fathers, thank you to the teachers, thank you to the elders for giving us an opportunity to be able to appreciate history. So what I want us to do, let's give ourselves a round of applause. Come on, give yourself some love. Somebody told me they love you today, I do. Because that's what the Philadelphia basketball is all about. Now, if basketball has been good to you, you ought to be clapping a little bit louder. If basketball gave you an opportunity to travel across the country, if the basketball gave you an opportunity to put some money in your pocket, even if you repping Monroe, and hey, travel all over the world and make that money, brother, and bring it back home. The rich tradition of Philadelphia basketball, the Baker League story. I'm going to say one other thing and then we're going to get right with the program. They say history has but one honorable purpose: to train the student to be a responsible handler of power. There's power in this game. There's power in Philadelphia basketball history. And when I think about the late Bill Joyner, some people who I see, you know, I think about Reverend Saul. Come on now. But see, that's the history that sustains me today. And so sometimes you got to put down the ball and you got to pick up the book and read and understand saying that there's a rich tradition about Philadelphia basketball. Oh, I could go on and on and on and on. But tonight, I'm here to pay my respects and my honor to the legends who have paved the way that we have an opportunity today to be able to appreciate life. And without any further ado, what I'd like to do is call up Brother Tony, and then I think we have someone that's going to make a remark, Brother T, and then I'm going to open it up in the prayer, if that's okay. And in the history of the Baker League, and I may be wrong now, but George Gibson, Reverend Gibson, and myself, I believe in terms of Sonny Hill, were the only two we with and play ball, but there was a bigger vision that we had to serve our Lord. So I just need to just thank God again for the opportunity to be able to be here tonight.
Hello everyone. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's really a blessing to see everyone here today. A lot of family, a lot of friends. I especially want to thank the people that helped make this film. George Parham, Joe Parham, T. Parham, Bill Baggett, Ducky Birts, Joe Crawford, Blair, Floyd, Patel. It's a bunch of guys. Bill Baggett. I mean, a lot of people have helped, you know, in the production and making of this film and make this event possible tonight. And I just want to thank all of you for doing that. Lloyd, where you at? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lou. Love you, Lou. As you know, I'm a film director, and you know, I started out as a basketball player myself, and I played high school and college basketball in New York. And when I moved to Philly, you know, I went to school for Philly for film production, and that's how I got into film about 12 years ago. And as you've seen earlier with some of the videos of the films, the trailers of the films that I've done in the past, and this is our current film on the Baker League. And I think this is a great story to tell, and it had to be told because of the history and the tradition of Philadelphia basketball. And I noticed that, you know, a lot of the legends and pioneers that have paved the way for the young guys, you know, and what they're doing today, I mean, the tradition is just phenomenal. You know, guys like Mike Morak and Raheem Thompson, like these guys today are still carrying that tradition of Philadelphia basketball. And we need to, like, you know, pay homage to them too. And the younger guys need to pay homage to the older guys for what they've done and the foundation they set for Philadelphia basketball. I mean, I think that's very important. So I'm not gonna stay up there too long, but I want to remind everybody that once we're done, we have shirts to sell the Baker League and other shirts for $10. We also have autographed pictures available. There's guys in here that need to sign, if you could please, when we're done, sign the pictures on the table. They're free. The pictures are free. Just sign the pictures on the table, so anybody that want a picture or autograph picture of some of the professional players and, you know, great players out of Philadelphia. If you want a picture of these guys, just get it off the table. You know, make sure you get these guys to sign it first before they leave. Like, where's Heat? Heat, make sure you sign your picture. Yeah, you go. Darryl, everybody know Darryl, Heat Gates, right? So again, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I'm really pleased from the bottom of my heart, you know, to have so much support. You guys are great, and I hope you guys enjoy this film. I really do. And right now, I want to bring on the legendary Joe Parham.
So before we start, I want to thank Tony. I've been on it for about 4 or 5 years to do this. I talked to Dr. Floyd and I talked to a lot of people. Finally, Tony listened to me. I don't know, maybe Tim Perry put him in a headlock or something. But before we start, though, let's have a moment of silence for Mr. Claude Gross and Tony San Martino, John Hart, and all of the Mr. Murphy. Who can forget Mr. Murphy? Mr. Joyner, Mr. Flynn, my father. I mean, the list goes on and on. But all my boys that came, Train, Stu, Lou, TP, and thanks, Ricky Tuck. I mean, this is a whole bunch of just great players. And I want to say special to my cousin Keith, who played in the Baker League, but he's not here. He's the one who introduced me when I was a pain in the butt down there running around. So let's have a moment of silence for those people. All right, let's do it. Thanks y'all for coming.
Just a quick announcement. After the movie is shown, we would like for you to remain seated. There's going to be a question and answer period where we'll get a chance to just appreciate what the Spirit of the Lord wants us to receive tonight in terms of understanding that this is truly a beginning of being able to create a dialogue where we can appreciate the importance of the African word called Ubuntu. And Ubuntu means I am because we are. And so it's all about unity. It's all about being able to realize that we all are one yet many. And there's so much to be thankful for. So again, after the movie is shown, please remain seated. And again, we would like to have a Q&A session. Let us bow our heads in prayer. To the all-wise, ever-present, loving God, we thank you for the divine breath that you have breathed into our nostrils,
way down the stairs. I'll show
that we are the living souls you created us to be.
Oh, you've been here? Okay.
We thank you, Lord,
No, it's okay.
for family. We thank you for friends. We thank you for this special moment that you have ordained, that we are able to appreciate the gift of life and how we live our lives, Lord, hopefully is our gift back to you. But it all starts at home. It all starts with those who raised us to be who we are. And even sometimes in our falling short, you said you would never leave us nor forsake you, so the Spirit is alive. And so we thank you right now for this opportunity to be able to dwell together in unity, that we may leave here knowing that we're not alone. And we're praying that we would be able to connect in that mighty and awesome way, that this Philadelphia story, the Baker Lee story, can be one that can continue to reach out, not only to Philadelphia, but to our universe, because this is truly a rich tradition that we are experiencing. And let us be mindful in all that we do to give you the glory. In Christ Jesus' name we pray. Let us all say amen.
Amen.
Movie time.
I can say this because I was there. I saw he was still around when Earl Monroe in a big league game.
The NBA season may heat up in the winter, but in Philadelphia, basketball courts are hot in the summertime.
The 36th annual Baker League All-Star Game took place today at Temple University's McGonigal Hall.
It Baker League started in 1960, and the reason it started was because we were considered professionals and we couldn't play any basketball league, so we got Jacobs and then we started our own league.
Philadelphia culture of basketball, just being involved in it and just being a part of it.
When I was coming up, it was a family type thing.
You know, Philadelphia, New York, and Baltimore were the three East Coast meccas of basketball. It's a close. New York's a close. Yeah, there's a close second.
Yeah, we were the first to have the pro league, but then New York came right behind us with the record league, man. So
The mecca of basketball is here in Philadelphia. No better, don't get no better.
Hey,
Second Street Cafe.
All right, I take for a minute. We have some comments that will be made by our legends. We appreciate it very much for your cooperation. If we can just tune in, because I truly believe it's going to be inspiration for those who have a desire to be where they are. As I mentioned before, basketball is more than a game. It's an experience. More. For how? When we think about the game of basketball, there's a lot of things that come to our mind. But at this time, what I want to do is introduce some of our legends and to be able to have them speak about where they are right now, what they see in terms of this game of basketball, but more importantly, the experience that they will want to share with you tonight. So we're going to start out, if it's okay, we can start out with Elder T. Parham. And as I mentioned earlier, when I first walked in the door, one of the things that I learned from our elders is what they call the term blade. Now, if you don't know what blade means, I know when Will Chamber used to come to town, Dr. Sonny Hill always gave me the opportunity to pick Will up at the Windsor Franklin Plaza Hotel. So that was my job as a young guy, to pick him up at the hotel, and I had an opportunity to hang and learn things from our legends. So I'm going to start with T. Parham, and I just want to say, T, what's on your heart right now, how you feel, that's what's important. So, you have the floor, my brother.
Oh, thank you. Can you hear me yet? Yeah. Well, I'm also the old school, that's why I got me on here first speaker here. I'm the old days. I watch the games now, and I really enjoy. Some people don't like the way they play now, but I sure like and enjoy. Basketball's come a long way. When I was a young teenager, go around the schoolyard, be the only black guy there playing basketball. That's how far we had come. I really appreciate it. I like what we do, and Philadelphia has always, the reputation is great around the whole world in basketball. Believe me, folks. Thank you very much for coming out here tonight, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Dr. Ducky Birts, our man.
Because the honor of God, number one, we still here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. A lot of guys left us. A lot of guys still here. Because we did some things back then that is copied around the country. And black people did it with love, practice, have a lot of kids. And it's a myth that the baby is one guy. That's a wrong thought, fellas. We all dance together. We all dance together. We all dance together. We all dance together. We all 70s, 80s, some of the 90s, some of the 50s, the young kids got to carry on. We have to learn how to pass it down, help our kids economically, go to church and pray, take any $1,000, the next door neighbor, it ain't changed. Life don't change. You change. It ain't gonna stop. Help our families, help our kids. I remember when I was coming up, Ty Shield and Clark Rose, you had to do your homework. You couldn't play something, you didn't come back with a good grade. You sit down and look at it. So I'm saying to us, we have to help our kids. They need us. They're hard, they're screaming. They need support in our community for our kids. So I'm glad to be here. Now we got to pass it down to our young kids. And God bless everybody in here. James, stand up. Give these guys a hand, these young guys, do this work. Give them a hand. These young guys, do this work. Somebody got to do it. When they get done, put it out there. We can do it. We can do it. We'll do it in Delaware too. I'm going to tell you that somewhere. Louis Lloyd.
Yes, sir. Go ahead,
Ducky Birts. Thank you, brother.
I want to thank God first for blessing us to still be alive. We got a lot of people, a lot of pros, a lot of fallen brothers that died, and we still here. So I want to thank God for still being here, right here today. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I'm glad that y'all came. And one thing I want to do is I want to thank all the professional athletes that made it from the Baker League, the Sonny Hill League,
Yes, sir.
The college league, like Lionel Simmons, Joey Crawford, the referee, Howard sitting up there. Tim Perry over there playing with the 76ers. We represent, I'm a part of the NBA Child Play Association. And I know these programs are too, but we had a great journey in our life here in Philadelphia. My man Earl Harris, a police officer. Yeah, Mr. Earl. Pal, athletics. All city for Bob. Mr. Bob Black. Stevie Blackflower, Moon Blackflower. And the word for him, we wouldn't be here today. We did a lot of great things. They raised us up right. T. Parham, Ducky, Bill Baggett, T. Shields. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight. And I just want to say, God is the greatest. My man Ricky Chuck, my point guard. Yeah, Rick. Overbrook family, I thank y'all for coming. And the Baker League is one of the greatest things that ever happened for a lot of us.
Oh, wow. Amen.
Thank y'all for coming out.
Yeah, well, our brother T is coming up, if I may, just for a moment, since I have the opportunity to host.
We're going to go back this way.
Okay. So we're going to get T now, then we're going to go back this way. We're going to go Joe? Okay then.
Why are y'all standing up there?
Go, brother Joe.
Yeah. Fellas, we can't see back here. Yo, guys. Yeah, I know you're recording, but yeah,
I'm just glad people actually still talk to me. I mean, Ducky and I used to fight one another. I mean, actually want to fight. The Baker League.
Guys, mine.
Fellas. Thank you, Joe, thank you for just letting me be involved. It meant a great deal to me. It fast forwarded me to get to the NBA. Like I said in the film, it was one of my dreams. I was a kid and I used to just get those box scores, and I wanted to ref in the Baker. And when I got down there and I ref the guys, it was just awesome. The people treated me awesome. And all the friendships, and even when I ref Lionel and ref Lewis and Mo through the years in the NBA, the respect factor that we had for one another was off the charts. And it just was just thank you for just letting me be a part of this. It's been a great thrill. Thank you again. Thank you.
I'm very thankful for the Sonny Hill League, the Baker League, T. Shields, Floyd, the guys that groomed me, as well as a lot of other players. Told me everything I know about basketball, helped me be successful. The key that they had was the academic part, which a lot of programs didn't have. They made sure you had to go to summer school and make sure you had the grades in order to play. That was very important, and it led the way for a lot of players, and I'm just another one of those players that was fortunate enough to come along in the league and benefit from it. So again, thank the Sonny Hill League and the Baker League for all they've done for my success in my career. So thanks again.
Let's give Ryan a round of applause. Lucky got brother Nate Blackwell. Yes, sir.
I feel honored to be here tonight, especially having an opportunity to sit up here with some of the greats. And by the way, Louis, I did play in the NBA too, man. However, briefly. But no, my roots started in South Philly with Team Claude, and you know, I thought that I knew basketball, and I didn't know anything about basketball until those guys started hitting me upside the head and telling me, shut up. You know, I like to talk. As you can see, I do love to talk. And every time they would chastise me, I would have something to say right back. And it reached the point where they just start choking me. I am a good learner though. I learned after about the third choke. You know, not to say anything. But I had a great opportunity to play in the Sunny Hill League at a time when it was at its peak. I got opportunities to watch some of the guys you saw in the film. I was a young guy who would come down and watch the games. Then I had a chance to play against those guys myself. And then later on, coached other guys who ended up being all-stars and great players. So I've been through the full circle, and you know, I'm just happy to say that you know, I'm a part of it. Sonny Hill and Nate Blackwell are synonymous. Thank you.
All right. Dr. Floyd. Good to see you, Dr. Floyd.
Good to see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc.
I want to thank my daughters for putting up with me for all these years, coaching basketball, running leagues, and having the time of my life. Coaching guys and the players. The players not only played for me, who put up with me yelling and screaming and cursing them and their families, and especially the guys who played against me, who made me a better coach. Guys like Blackwell and Parham and Lionel, who beat the crap out of me many times, and Tim Perry and your brother. But my guys, Buck James, John Moore, Sad Eye, they were my life. They were my family. And I'm thankful, especially for you, Tone, for memorializing this and putting it on film where it'll never disappear. Yeah. So thank everybody.
Well, like I said, I was on Tone for 4 years to try to get this story told. One thing that I want to say about the Baker League, that separated from all the other leagues that, you know, that they showed. All those leagues were real competitive, but the one thing about the Baker League was, number one was the rules. Number two, you were always on center stage at McDonald. And then number three, unfortunately at 16th Street and other leagues, you weren't had, your small forward was like Lionel, was trained, 6'8". You ain't gonna run in and do a tricky dunk on Tim. It's gonna get erased. You had Buck, Happy Kid. You had my man Snoop. You know, he was our 2 guard. He's 6'7", 6'8". So that was as close to the NBA as we were gonna get. And my man Hadi, who you saw on here, we were some of the guys that didn't get a chance to play in NBA, played a little bit overseas, but there was a whole bunch of those guys. But it was just fortunate. I see my man George. We were just fortunate enough to have played with these guys, because I went up and played in New York on weekends, and it was nothing like the Baker League. And I took my uncle up a couple of times, and of course he had me in stitches all the way home. Make my man, big 6'8" power forward, make him sit in the back seat. But I won't go there. He said, Wilt sat in the back seat. You think I was at, you sit up front? He was killing. Man, but I want to thank all the guys I reached out to. And also, one more thing, we don't give enough credit to the staff. I see Ms. Hines, she's here. She worked the staff for years. Just working the table. You know, that means you have to be there for every game. We played our game and left. Sometimes we play all night.
All night, yeah.
Yeah. From 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And I remember we used to play the Pro-Am. You know, there was more footage, but they had a Pro-Am down the street run by the National Pro-Am. We would go from there, and everybody get in their cars and go up the street and play in the Baker League. So, I mean, it's incredible energy. Now I think about it, I'm getting tired thinking about it. So, but like I said, afterwards, we all gonna congregate at Train's bar. You know, reminisce on some stories. This is like almost like a real.
What's that?
22nd and Ward Street, right on the corner. Okay? And thanks everybody for coming. And Tom, thanks man for telling the story, kid.
Good job, Parham. So we got Tony that's going to say something, and we're going to come back down on this end. And then what I'm going to do is ask Ashley, Howard, Monkadoo, if y'all can come down. And while we're getting ready, I just want to see us appreciate the past being taught. We talked about the professional league, right? But look how it's passed down to the collegiate league. In order to educate, you got to learn how to officiate the games kids play. So from Joe Crawford, passing it down to Jeff Clark, Final Four, y'all, right? Final Four official last year. We also have Ashley Howard, champion, Villanova. See, it's all about learning the skills that win championships. That's what the league is all about. You know what I mean? So I want them to come down and we just want to pass over to Brother Tony, and then we'll come back over and hit T-Shell and some of y'all other legends.
I'd just like to say thank you again to everybody for coming out. I really appreciate it. You know, I see some of my friends that came over today, Eric and Stephanie, my man Butch up there. Thanks for coming out, appreciate it. And my family that's here tonight, Johnson's and Lindsay's, my wife Andrea, she's around here somewhere. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. But you know, we put a lot of work into this film. We really did. And even though I was the director and producer and editor of the film, you know, this film wouldn't have been anything without these guys here. These guys here, these gentlemen here, they really made the film because their stories were just phenomenal. They were just so exciting and so compelling. And I'm glad we got a chance to put this on screen and show people like Claude Gross, you know, in the Baker League coaching. Guys like Ducky Birts in the Baker League coaching. That people never even seen this footage before. You know, footage of Sonny Hill, you know, footage of John Chaney. People never seen that footage before. It's important, you know, that we get these stories out and people get to see these guys, you know, when they played back in those times, man, so we can keep this tradition and the legacy of Philadelphia basketball going. I also want to thank my man Del Greco, Black Cajun Sports Media, and Alex, you know, for Sharp Vision, you know, really came to help out. Walt and George really did a tremendous job helping us. And I thank Fran Dunphy for coming out tonight.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you. So again, I thank you all for coming. And you know, this is just the start of many things to come. We got some more stuff coming, some more great stories coming in the future. So stay tuned for it, all right? Yeah, here's Lloyd's story. Okay, all right. All right, now that's the right over to Donald. Bill?
I'm going to talk about some things, but the Baker League is the heart of it. I want to start with Teddy Brown. Come down here, please. I just want you to know, before the Baker League, way before the Baker League, this guy here started teaching me how to play basketball and block my shot. Never happened again. This guy here by the manhole, right here, we were all in high school together.
It might be outside.
We played on the teams together. Bobby did all the shooting. Teddy did all the passing. I played all the defense and rebound. All of it. But I want to thank Teddy especially because he really got my game on. And after Teddy, Parham took me under his wing and really taught me the game of basketball. Now the Baker League is starting. And I really should say thank you to the Baker League because it was responsible for me doing a lot of things in basketball. Going to school, playing overseas, getting tryouts with the Sixers, playing in Denver. All that was because of the Baker League. Had there been no Baker League, I might not have done any of those things. So I want you guys to know that the Baker League used to be the highlight of our summer. Every summer. We look forward to playing in the Baker League every summer, because that was the only place to play where you could get good competition.
Thank you.
In what? Oh, we'll get to that, yes. Some more good stories.
Who's on step? I didn't want nobody step on it. Thank you.
First of all, he took her on Monroe to championship. He was all CIAA 4 straight years at the Cleo Hill. He did the same thing Cleo did, he did it better. Now, he's been fortunate enough that his daughter is Congresswoman of Delaware. The first black Congresswoman in Delaware. Now, there's another guy there I have to say something to. I tell people all the time, he used to take me to school. This guy right here. Now, not only did he take me to schoolwork, you see how big he is? He used to beat me up all the time, too. He did, to try to push me around. But I'll say this, because of guys like him, I was able to learn and pass it on to some other guys like him. Morak. My main man. And there's some more in here, too. I just can't name everybody right now. But I do want to say thank you to Lloyd for learning. I took him under my wing a little bit, and he really learned how to play. He became one of the best players ever in Philadelphia. So thank you, Lloyd, again, my man. Thank you for coming out, everyone. We're going to try to do this again, because there's more to add to it. There's a lot more to add to it. There's years of everybody. I mean, South Philly guys, Earl played at Landry Schoolyard. Where we played over Dutton Schoolyard, and we played South Philly at Falk and Shum, and all those places. And because of those things, I was able to give back to some of the youth in Philadelphia. Thank you.
What we're going to do is, we're going to get, let's get T-shells.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get T-shells.
Okay, last but not least, I'm going to say one more thing. I just want you to know that my organization was happy that we could sponsor this with Tony. It's the Philadelphia Association of Black Sports and Culture. Thank you.
Right. For the back of the round of applause. Come on.
Thank you for you coming out tonight. We really appreciate it. It was a great pleasure to see the adults and the young people that we help raise and to encourage to be the young people they are. But I want to say one more thing in terms of recognizing someone. I want to recognize my partner's wife for 43 years. My sister and my niece, Miss Selena Gross and Miss Michelle Smith. Give them a hand, please. Ducky said earlier, we're all family, and it takes a village to raise a young person, and we've done that. When I look at Lionel Simmons, Lloyd, Tyrone Davis, guys that go back in the early 70s and early 80s, we were here. They were here, and they played well for us, and they rose up to be very good young people, and we're proud of them. So again, I thank you. Thanks for the recognition, and I appreciate you. Peace.
All right.
When I'm around my basketball family, I'm totally overwhelmed. Because besides being a player, I'm a big fan. I see a lot of faces in here that I remember being a 13, 12, 10, 11, 12-year-old, you know, guiding me along, Jay Bagley, Don Hackney, just so many guys. And the thing that I'm most grateful for tonight is that we get to honor our elders in a way that lasts forever. We documented it. We documented it for generations to come. They can see who we are. Paul Graham, wow. It's just so much gratitude that I feel right now, because this is a very important thing to me. You know, the greatness of our tradition. This is our tradition.
Yes.
We own this tradition. It's the great tradition of Philadelphia basketball. It belongs to us. So what we have to do is we have to cherish it, and we have to nurture it, and we have to pass it on. We have to pass it on. The stories that we saw on the screen tonight, little bitty stuff, man. Calvin Dixon. You could do a whole thing on this man right here. You know what I'm saying? We are so immensely blessed. And I'm awfully, awfully proud to be a part of this great tradition. Thank you.
All right. Got Batman ready now. I don't know if y'all saw the movie 10 Feet in the Air. There was a lot of footage in there. But at the same time, go ahead, Bat. What you got to say, brother?
First, giving honor to God. You know, when I looked at the film and I thought about the gang era, well, I'm a product of that gang era. I came to McGonigal Hall one day, they had this no-talking nut on the microphone. And I'm like beating the boy down. So Claude Gross died, rest in peace, you know. He said, "We think you can do better, come on down." And the rest is history. And because of Claude Gross, because of the elder, this is the Baker League where anything can happen. And you can do it. I am who I am today. When I see a young brother like Calvin Dixon, you know, I'm a young buck from Central, you know, and I see people like Mo, whose father was a part of the league. You know, I was telling George, you know, Reverend Clark, whatever. You know, call me George. First and foremost, you know, to come from where I come from back then to where I am today on WRD, playing music every Friday night for 12 certificates, giving a plug, and now I'm the second vice president of the Philadelphia branch of the NACP. I think it's not a day go by when I think about another individual who we should all remember, especially if we played on the Germantown team. And that's Tony San Martino. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the first, and y'all know I can be radical as I can be, but that was the first Caucasian man that made me feel accepted and respect as a human being. And then I looked at the fact that next to Momo, you had two of the greatest black coaches in the Hill League. You know, along with another soldier who's no longer here. And I heard Lou mention him, and that's Mr. Black. You know, we need to honor those. You know, the best part of this thing tonight, Chief, Ducky, all you elders, got seen your flowers while you was here to smell. And for all of you, you know, it ain't a day go by and I don't hear nobody call me back, man. That's something I'm gonna deal with the rest of the time. I want each and every one of you to look to the next person right now, and like Rev said, we found. But let's tell each other we love them, you know, because without that love, it ain't nothing that cannot be destroyed. And with that, my brother, I love you.
Love you too. All right, brother Tim Perry.
I just want to apologize right now for not being from Philadelphia, from New Jersey. Sorry about that. It's been a great experience playing in the Sonny Hill League. My thing is, I started playing basketball late. I played 1 year of varsity basketball in high school, so my whole time at Temple, I was like learning on the fly. And you know, I had Coach Chaney as a coach, and he's hard to please, believe me. I mean, my freshman year at Temple, my job in the beginning of the game was to get the jump ball and go sit back on the bench for the next 20 minutes. So I had a hard time. So what I did with the Sonny Hill League, I trying to get that little NBA fast-paced game, but you know, at Temple we kind of slowed it down unless we knew we were going to turn the ball over. If we knew we were going to turn the ball over, we had to slow it down. So I always try to work on my game in the summertime, and I love playing against guys like Lionel Simmons and Hank Gathers. I was telling the story. Lionel Simmons was the first person ever got with a pump fake. When he pump fake in the air, then he actually passed the ball to somebody. I did a 360 and he laid the ball up and smacked me in the butt. I said, okay, I got you on that one now. He's the first person that ever did that. And I remember I played against some hand gatherers. And usually, me, I lay my hat on defense, you know. I think in sports, a lot of kids, they try to do too much. You got to lay your hat on something. My thing was defense. So I play against you, I'm gonna keep you quiet. Majority of the time. I played against Hank for the first time, and he got 47 points on me. And I remember it was his mom or his aunt kept saying, "Bust him up, Hank, bust him up." And that day, I was mad the whole night. But anyway, it was a great experience. Thank you.
Before Brother Ashley speaks, as a father, what brings me great joy is to be able to see your children excel at what they love doing. I had the opportunity to talk a lot to Mo because I was out in Indianapolis, not this year, but last year, and you know, it was the tournament, and Ashley was there, I was with my son, but we have 2 collegiate coaches in our midst that's from our program, from our city. And it's just a joy to be able to see how they represent not just the city of Philadelphia, but how they represent their families, how they represent who they are as young, aspiring coaches. So I just like to thank again all of those collegiate coaches who are with us tonight. And before Ashley comes on, I'm just saying I watched him, and it's just an honor for me to see where you have come from to where you are now. And it's just a blessing that you can share that gift to other young persons because they have aspirations too. But when you take the time to give up your heart, your love, and your time, that's an honor. So congratulations, Ashley.
I appreciate it. You beat me to the punch because what I wanted to talk about and what I feel like I represent here, along with Chris Clark, is the second generation
Chris Clark,
Sonny Hill League, Baker League kids, right? And, you know, I represented, you know, I came up with the era when Kobe and Lynn Greer, John Cox, you know, we were all sons of great players. And, you know, Kobe took it to the ultimate level, right? But we were all in the gym together. We all grew up in McGonigal Hall, in the tunnel, watching Train, watching Snoop, watching Parham, Pooh Richardson, Mike Anderson. And I want to thank all you guys, and I want to thank everybody here for just your contribution that you made to Philadelphia basketball, because everybody in their own individual way has made that contribution to make Philadelphia basketball special. And for a young guy like myself that had the opportunity to grow up in the city, to get the tutelage from so many great, not only basketball players, but great coaches, great men in our community that have helped make me the man that I am today. I'm eternally grateful, and I just would like to just thank everyone for that. And I'm very happy to be here tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ash. Let's go Mongadoo first. I'm sorry, Jeff Clark.
Mongadoo.
No, Philly, man. Mongadoo, man.
You see, when people talk about Mongadoo, I gotta stand up on the square. See, that takes me back. You know what I mean? But I was a scorer. I think it was behind James Banks and Lloyd, because I could fill it up a little bit. No, to be serious, it's a blessing. I give God the glory also. To be standing here in the midst of a lot of legends, it's truly a blessing. As one of the original Mighty Mites, for over 40 years ago, I've enjoyed this rich tradition with the Baker League. As a Mighty Mite, I remember playing 5 minutes at halftime, and Big Bob Stevens blocking my shot like my man blocked it in the movie here when Mr. Parham was talking about after he scored 50 on the Joker after that Joker blocked his shot. But I can remember going back there, but it was 2 words that was that's imminent to me. Mr. Crawford was talking about emulating. And coming up as a kid, you know, we're creatures of habit. So we pick up what other people do. So I put in my repertoire too, Joe. When I throw the ball up, okay? Joey? Huh? We talk about emulation, right? I didn't steal it. I just emulated what you do. I just took it to another level because that's only told me that, hey man, I gotta match the intensity from the door. And anybody that knew me or knows me, if you come to the game, you better bring your lunch pail. Because I'm gonna get you from the huddle. I'm gonna pick you up from the huddle. So that defensive thing is a whole other thing. And the second word is attitude. They know about that. It's interesting because I've officiated a lot of games. And it's not one team that I've had where I hear after every possession or after every incident, they say, attitude! Attitude! But it puts things into perspective because it starts with one, spreads to many, and ultimately it affects us all. So I can see why they want to chip. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I try to take with me. My passion for what I do comes from attitude, comes from emulating, comes from the Baker Lead experience, because that's all I know. I thank God for my brother Dana. You talk about R.W. Brown Boys Club, Mo talking about an opportunity to go through the hood. He will stay behind and rumble while I run and my brother George run to get home. Huh? Get a waiter. No, go ahead, I'll take care of this. We're talking about the Baker Lead experience. Get him out of here. God, but lastly, love you, Paul. It's a blessing, it's an honor. I'm glad the story was told. It's definitely a tradition like none other. And I just thank my father, may he rest in peace. I thank my lovely wife, may she rest in peace. Mildred Clark, I love her to death. And I thank y'all out for coming in.
Thanks, Dad. I'm just very humbled and very humbled for the opportunity to be here tonight. Obviously, we got a bunch of legends here on the stage, and I'm very thankful to have been a part of the Sunny Hill Basketball League. I remember my first time playing in the John Chaney Sunny Hill camp. I was 11 years old, and my first time at the camp, you know, my dad, you know, obviously being involved, my Uncle Dana, my Uncle Monk, you know, telling me, man, you know, you got big shoes to fill. You're Clark, you got big shoes to fill. So I go to the camp, and it might have been the worst I've played in my entire life. Came back, I didn't win any awards, so I'm like, man, I'm scratching my head. Maybe basketball is not the thing for me. Maybe I need to try something else. Obviously, my height being small, I'm like, maybe I should play soccer or baseball or something else. So went back the next year, and I'm playing against guys like Michael Blackshear, rest in peace, and I came back with 10 awards. And, you know, it was something special about being in that family, being a part of Sunny Hill camp, just learning from the older guys around. You know, they kicked your butt. I had a lot of butt whippings in my life, not just from my family, but from T. Shields, from Hart, Owens, who I played for in the Sunny Hill League. So I'm very thankful. The person I am today is because of the guys that are on this stage, because of my family, my father, my mother, my uncle Dana, my Uncle Monk, my grandfather, and I just truly appreciate all the lessons that you guys learned and passed down to generations, and was passed down to me, passed down to Ashley Howard. We truly appreciate that, and you know, that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm the man I am today, and we gotta pass that down to the next generation. So my fellow prep, Mo Howard, my fellow prep guy, learned a lot from him as well. So I'm just thankful for the opportunity to be here. I see Coach Duff in the back. He's another guy that I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him.
Thanks, Coach.
And I'm just truly thankful to be here, be a part of this special basketball-rich tradition. Thank you.
All right, we're going to have Donald Hunt, and we're going to have T. Parham. And for those of you know, Chaney wrote a book, Winning is an Attitude. Now, when I talk with Dr. Hill, we talk about the 4 A's: attitude, attendance, A.Paris, and associations. Winning is an attitude. And that's what I believe we all learned. So I want to pass it over to Don Hunt, because I talked about history earlier. History has but one honorable purpose, is to train the student to be a responsible handler of power. So here's the power that I want to now have Don Hunt, because in writing, this is where our legacy is going to be told. So Don, we're going to go to T. Or
I forgot to mention Sean Trice. Thank you.
Sean Trice.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Don, you got it, brother. My man.
Well, Chaney had another book. It's called Chaney Playing for a Legend that I wrote with Arron, McKie, and Reggie Jones. And just thought I would mention that. I'm so happy that they did this documentary. I remember going to my first Baker League game back at Memorial Hall, and I had a chance to see Archie Clark and Earl Monroe play. And those guys were real legends in Baker League. And then during that time that I was there that night, Ken Taverniers played. And there was a guy coaching Ken Taverniers that was telling Chet Walker and Hal Greer where to go on the court. I was like, who is this guy? It was John Chaney. John Chaney coaching Ken Taverniers. And I think he won 5 Baker League championships. And this is before Gratz, this is before Chaney, this is before Temple, y'all. This is before him going in the Naismith Hall of Fame. And that speaks a lot. That's Philadelphia basketball right there. Okay, another thing I want to mention, we talked about a lot of people that were involved in the Hill League and the Baker League. There's one guy we did mention who was a big help to me, and that's Herm Rowe.
Yes, sir.
Herm was a Jewish guy that lived in West Philly, or grew up in West Philly, that lived in North Philly. He had a cherry and white crib right behind Progress Plaza. And he was a guy that clearly understood what was going on in the African American community. And he shot the flat foot blues. He was left-handed, he got his feet set, and it was 2. You see them guys missing all them jump shots now? Let me tell you something, Herm was good. But Herm really, and I think I picked this up, after the guys played in the Hill League and Baker League, if they were able to go on and play in the NBA, or play overseas, it was always good to see him come back, you know, and reach back and help others. And it's always good to see a lot of these guys in here. I mean, I think I've written just about a story on everybody, you know, and it's just great to see him. I mean, I went to lunch one day, I saw Tim Curry coming in Lorenzo's. Another day I saw Lionel Simmons. I mean, it's great to see these guys, you know? I mean, this is special. So I just want to thank Tony and everybody again for doing this wonderful documentary. And I just really appreciate everybody that's helping me, because I think at this point in my career, I got to say thank you, you know, to a lot of folks. And a lot of people in here have helped me out with stories. They've called me on the phone. They've, you know, emailed me and different things like that. And I really appreciate that. So I want to say that, and I just want to thank Tony and everybody for giving me an opportunity to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Crazy. Thing again, I guess. Yeah, but you know, over the years, you know, the more I think of this stuff about this family thing, my family didn't come up in the Baker League. And they were known as the royal family. You know, we used to have a corner. I've been married, how long now? Oh, God. To the same woman, I've been married almost 60 years, 59 years. We had a son, Keith, who grew up in the league, played in every league we ever had with the Mighty started. 3 daughters, 2 of them play basketball, one helps keep the score. So our whole family has seen all that. They're going to have to be interviewed to give out the information. And they started out, they helped turn our league into a social event. Back in those days, when it was very, wasn't popular. But anyway, I want to thank them for being supportive of myself and the whole league. And thank you very much. I can never repay that.
Okay, good. Yes, Teddy, he said he didn't want to say anything, but Brother Blunt.
He's a speaker.
Last one.
He's a speaker. Yes. Say something nice.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here. I started playing at Moreland Recreation Center many years ago, and I was fortunate enough to go to Gratz High School, where we were an exceptional basketball team. And then I went to Winston-Salem, where I played in the backcourt with probably the greatest college basketball player ever, and that was Earl Monroe. And Earl, to this day, always remembers Philadelphia. He always gives back, and he's a very special kind of person. The other reason that I'm here is that we need to realize that basketball is just a game that's played on a court, and we need to be preparing our youngsters for the court of life. Amen. And so often we're not doing that. And I'm fortunate because of guys like T, John Chaney, Sonny Hill, and all the others, because I learned about life, and because of Bright Hope Baptist Church, Congressman Bill Gray. Today, my daughter is the first black and woman to be elected in 232 years in the state of Delaware. And the upbringing comes from being around guys that are here. So again, I don't know why they wanted me to speak other than blocking Bill Baggett's shot and making a basket. But that was really a fine point in my life. But again, I also want to thank the guy that played with me in high school, Bob Vando, who's always been with me. We've been friends, we've been cousins, and we've stuck together for more than 50 years. And again, basketball is a game, but because of that game, I've been very fortunate and very blessed. I have 3 daughters, all very smart, all well educated, and all out of my house.
Good evening. I left Philadelphia and went to Delaware State. Played there 2.5 years. And when I came out of Delaware State, I played in the Baker League with Earl Monroe, John Shannon, Tuba Washington, and we won the championship. We lost 1 game. We was like high school hot shots at that time. And you know who we lost to? The greatest ball player of all time, Will Chaney. So then I played that 1 year, and then Sonny called me and wanted me to come there and coach. So I coached in the college league with Gene Banks, Michael Brooks, Vincent Ross. I could just go on and on. Every game was a hard game to win because every team was stacked. So we won the championship. And then Sonny said, why don't you come and coach in the Baker League because John Chaney is retired. He's taking a job at Temple. I said, okay. And then I come out with the team. I said, how'd y'all do last year? He said, well, last year we put us in last place. I said, last place? So we went on. I ended up with the team. I won 5 championships, 3 back-to-back. And the way everybody that played with me, and I'm gonna tell you the secret to coaching. If you carry 14 players, you can play 14 players. What you do is, you let your starters go out there and play the game, but then, when the other guys want to get in, you make them pick up full court. And if you look down the bench and you got somebody complaining about getting in the game, you put him out there and let him play full court. And then when they come out, they're so tired, they're glad to come out. But I ended up coaching Maurice Arnold. Maurice was a guy who wanted to be an agent and send ball players to play professional. Every ball player that played for me went pro somewhere, overseas, France, Germany, you name it. All the countries was in McGonagall Hall at the games. So everybody got a shot to play professional somewhere on this planet. Thank you. I did play with Ted. I wasn't one of the best guards in the backcourt.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to wrap it up. But more importantly, to everybody that's here, before you leave, these are the legends. However, we're going to get Earl Harrison 1 second. We're going to get Earl Harrison 1 second from North Carolina. Because see, it's going to our roots now. We're going back in history, but I want to say to all of you who are here, you are the legends too. So won't you give yourselves a round of applause? Because without you, there's no us. And so we can take this message back to our homes and let people understand that it's more than just about basketball, but it's about our relationships with one another, to truly appreciate who the Creator created us to be, and to love one another, and to appreciate the time that we have, so enjoy these moments that the Lord bless us with. Brother Harris. All right, I'm going to pass the mic. Lewis Lloyd said we got to bring him up.
We got to go after this. We got to go. We got to go.
Yeah.
Photo.
I just want to say one thing. Love for the kids of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All right. We're going to take a quick picture, right, with the legends.
Let's go. Let's go, everybody. Let's get together.
What we can do is we can probably let some sit there, and then some of the younger guys, we can stand behind the stage. All right,
Let's take a group picture real quick.
We're going to take a group picture. Let's get some of the elders up front, and then some of the other guys in the back.